Okie dokie. Everybody's been talking about Amazon's new show based on a video game. So you may be wondering, should you watch Fallout? Let me tell you about the show while avoiding important spoilers so you can tune in or out with confidence. Here are the core stats. Fallout premiered in April in 2024 on Amazon Prime Video. There were 8 episodes that ranged in length from 45 minutes to an hour and 14, all dropping on the same day. The show's stars include Ella Purnell, known for shows like Yellow Jackets and Star Trek Prodigy, as well as several films like Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children and Never Let Me Go. Aaron Moten, known for shows like Disjointed and Next. Walton Goggins, known for so much like The Shield, Justified, and tons of other shows and movies, lots of Western stuff. Kyle MacLachlan can be seen in almost everything, from Twin Peaks and Desperate Housewives to Portlandia and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's just done a lot. Moises Arias, known for Hannah Montana, Ender's Game, and so much more. And Michael Emerson, most notably from Lost and Person of Interest. Other recurring actors you may recognize include all of these folks. There's also some pretty big names that do little cameos here and there. Fallout is a post-apocalyptic drama about life in America over 200 years after nuclear bombs have been dropped. The setting has been described as atomic punk retro-futuristic. There are several types of people who survive the blasts, and our first introduction is to Lucy, who was born and raised underground in a vault. The Vault Dwellers' stated mission is to keep surviving with the hope of one day emerging to the surface and re-civilizing America. Among the surface dwellers, we meet a few key players, including Maximus, a young man living with the Brotherhood of Steel and training to be a squire. The Brotherhood has knights with robot suits that go on missions and such. We also meet a scientist who's gone rogue with his pet dog, and a mutant bounty-hunting cowboy who seems to have been around for the whole 200 years. After tragedy strikes the vault, Lucy leaves on a mission to save her family, believing she can restore everything if she's successful. Her journey is fraught with peril as she navigates the surface, discovering not everything is as she was told. She meets up with the other main characters on her journey, while her brother uncovers hidden secrets back in the vault. It's a classic fish-out-of-water story. Lucy is unable to navigate the surface world properly and must depend on information from potentially untrustworthy sources, while maintaining her adherence to all she was taught in the vault, often citing the Golden Rule. There's a strange mix of history and fantasy with fancy technology introduced by Vault-Tec. The show is based on a video game series, the first of which released in 1997 and was so popular it spawned several sequels, spin-off games, and tabletop renditions. As it became popular to release television shows based on video games, the game makers were approached several times but were leery of a potential flop that could hurt their brand. Wonder why they were worried about that. But Jonathan Nolan, creator of hit shows like Person of Interest and Westworld, was a fan of the games and finally got them to agree. When comparing the show to others, Westworld is an obvious choice with Nolan behind both projects. And there's definitely a similar vibe of technology meets Western and character-based storytelling. A show that comes to mind for the surface-dwelling portion is The Walking Dead. The post-apocalyptic nature, along with tribalism and dealing with the constant threat of monstrous creatures, feel very similar. It also shares messed up ethical situations and a tendency for a lot of gore. Another video game-inspired show with similar vibes is Last of Us. The mystery of the vaults and the separation from the rest of society definitely gives me Lost vibes. It's not just because Michael Emerson's there. The Vault Dwellers, operating similar to the Dharma Initiative, complete with secrets and hidden agendas. There may not be a smoke monster, but on the surface there are giant mutants like this bad boy. That's like a giant axolotl with fingers in its mouth. Ugh. The mix of post-apocalyptic with modern technology also reminds me a bit of The 100. So I'd say if you like any of those shows, definitely give Fallout a chance. Overall, I really enjoyed Fallout. I watched the whole season and look forward to where they may take the show in the future. I was aware of the games but never played them myself, so I can't speak to the accuracy or faithfulness to the source material, but I enjoyed the inclusion of the iconic imagery that I had seen before. Some of the gore seemed a bit unnecessary to me, but it wasn't so constant to pull me out of the story. There are interesting backstories and character development throughout the series, and of course a few plot twists and turns to keep you guessing. So in my opinion, Fallout is definitely worth the watch. Okie dokie, so if this all seems your cup of tea, then give Fallout a shot. Amazon has already renewed it for a second season. So what do you think? Are you going to give Fallout a chance? Or if you have watched it, would you recommend it to others? Are there other shows you're curious about and would like to know if you should watch? Leave any suggestions down below, and I will see you in the next video.